A school club plans to sell cheering pennants at football games. Compose the triangle into a parallelogram to find how many square inches of cloth the school club needs for each pennant.
So I know that a triangle, or an area for a triangle, is 1/2 times base times my height. So if I locate that right angle, I know my base will be 29.5. My height would be 12. And I need to make sure I multiply that by 1/2, because what I'm technically doing is adding a whole nother side right here to make this a rectangle. Okay, so if I just do base times height, I'm forgetting to take away this whole part right here that is non-existent. That's why I multiplied by 1/2. So to do this, I need to multiply 29.5 times 12. Okay, follow along with me. 5 times 2 is 10, carry my 1. 9 times 2, 18, plus 1 is 19, carry my 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Bring down a 0 as a placeholder. 5 times 1 is 5. 9 times 1 is 9. 2 times 1 is 2. And I need to add together. 0 and 0 is 0. 9 plus 5, well, that's 14. Carry my 1. This is 15. Carry my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. I need to bring my decimal over once. So right now, 29.5 times 12 gave me 354. And I need to multiply that by 1/2. So I end up getting 354 over 2. And when I figure out what that is equal to, I need to go down here, type in my calculator, 354 divided by 2. And I get 177. So my answer then is 177 inches squared.
Suppose you have an acute triangle with height h and base b. To compose a parallelogram, first make a copy of the acute triangle, rotate the copy, and then push the triangles together to form a parallelogram. So you can use an acute triangle to compose a parallelogram with the same base and height as the acute triangle.
So I'm going to go on to the third example now.
Compose the acute triangle into a parallelogram to find the area of the triangle.
So go ahead and solve this. So I need to find my right angle, which is right here. So I'll have 1/2 times my base of 12 times my height of 8. Go ahead, solve this in your notes, show your work, and here are some possible answer choices for you. And I am going on to part 2, so freeze it until you solve it and figure out what the correct answer is.
Suppose you have an obtuse triangle with height h and base b. To compose a parallelogram, first make a copy of the obtuse triangle, rotate the copy, and then push the triangles together to form a parallelogram. So you can use an obtuse triangle to compose a parallelogram with the same base and height as the obtuse triangle. A nature club plans to buy a piece of land to keep as a nature preserve. The land is in the shape of an obtuse triangle. Compose the obtuse triangle into a parallelogram to find the area of the piece of land.
So all they really did, guys, is they made an invisible right angle right here, and they found that the right angle is actually 56 yards high. So with this, I know the area for a triangle will be 1/2 base times height. And my base, I have to find my right angle, will be 180. And my height is going to be 56. And my answer will be 1/2 of that, because we are adding an invisible part. So let's find 180 times 56. I'm going to put this in your notes with me. 6 times 0 gives me 0. 6 times 8 is 48, carry my 4. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. Add a 0 as a placeholder. 5 times 0, 0. 8 times 5 is 40, carry my 4. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. So when I add these together, I get 0, 8, 0, 10. And I need to divide that by 2. So if I have 1, 0, 0, 8, 0, and I'm dividing that by 2, because that's 1/2, or dividing by 2. 2 goes into 10, 5 times minus 10 equals 0, bring down my 0. 2 goes into 0, 0 times, bring down my 8. 2 goes into 8, 4 times. No remainders, bring down my 0. I should get 5,040 yards squared. Go ahead and copy that down and freeze your screen. Again, here's what they did. 1/2 times 180 times 56, they got 5,040. Okay, Miss S, if I do 180 times 56 divided by 2, it gives me the same answer, right? Yeah, the only reason why they make you multiply by 1/2 instead of divide by 2 is in case, for some reason, these two numbers multiply to give you a fraction. 1/2 multiplying by 1/2 or dividing by 2 is the reciprocal, so either of those should work.
What is the area of the obtuse triangle?
So find our right angle. Okay, so we end up having this. I want you to solve it on your own. I'll get you started. The area is always 1/2 times my base times my height. Whew. And my base is 12 2/5. And my height will be 5 1/2. And then I need to do the wheel to those and multiply that by 1/2. So go ahead and try solving that on your own. When you're done, here are a few of your answer choices. Solve it, show your work, call me over if you need help, and when you are done, move on with me.
The formula for the area of a parallelogram is A equals B times H, where A represents the area, B represents a base, and H is the corresponding height. The formula for the area of an acute triangle is A equals 1/2 B times H, where A represents the area, B represents the length of a base, and H represents the corresponding height. The formula for the area of an obtuse triangle is A equals 1/2 B times H, where A represents the area, B represents the length of a base, and H represents the corresponding height. What is the area of the triangle?
So for this one, we have to look at our right angle, and that will help us out.
I can do this. I saved the formula for the area of a triangle in my phone. I can't seem to find my phone. Wait, maybe the essential question can help. Let's see. Rearranging shapes to make other shapes. Of course, I don't need the formula. I can figure it out by using a triangle as a piece of another shape. Genius. Now, if I could just figure out where I left my phone.
So this orange triangle right here was our original triangle. And they saw off of this orange triangle, there was no right angle. So by extending this line here and connecting the dots, we can form a right angle, which is our key. So my height is now 6, because that's where the right angle is, which means my base is going to be 4. And I need to multiply that by 1/2. So what's 6 times 4? 24. And 24 times 1/2, well, half of 24 is 12. So my answer must mean, my answer is 12 centimeters squared. Go ahead and copy that down. Oop, you may have to go back. Copy it down, and I'm moving on to the next question.
What is the area of the triangle?
So find my right angle. That means my height is 10. My base will be 16. And since it's a triangle, I need to do a half of that. So 10 times 16 is 160. And I have to multiply that by 1/2. So what is 160 times 1/2, or 160 divided by 2? Go ahead and solve that. Put it in your notes, and here are some answer choices. When you're done, move on with me.
Suppose you know the perimeter and height of an equilateral triangle. Explain how you would find the area of the triangle.
So with this one, you would divide the perimeter. So remember, perimeter is the outside. So go ahead and copy this down. If I have this triangle, okay, and all the sides are equal, and I know the height, and I know all my sides are equal, I could divide the perimeter by 3 to figure out what each side was. Then, since I know my height, I know that this would be my base. So if you know the perimeter, you can divide by 3 to help you find all the sides. Go ahead and copy that down. When you're done, you may move on.